Hello everyone, Namaste. Welcome to Gayatri Wellness. Today's topic is food is information, it is not just nutrition. So we'll cover a few points. We'll try to keep it as short as possible with real life examples that I have experimented and um, have tried on myself, and how my health got deteriorated when I was not respecting food or eating food in mindfully way versus when I started eating food mindfully, how it started improving my health. So few points, as I said, we'll cover. Food is information and not just nutrition. So a couple of points, I made few notes, so I may be looking at my notes, but of course I'll be talking more from my experience so that you can relate to it. So by profession, I'll just tell you I was into IT profession. As everybody knows, IT is very daunting. It needs long hours, irregular food habits, so it takes a toll. So if you don't have discipline put into place, it really takes on your health in a bad direction. So you always have to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, managing a schedule, keeping a simple lifestyle with the simple food so that you can manage the work schedule that you have. Learn in a hard way, so I'm just trying to share it with everyone. And when I started taking charge of my health, how it got better and how I am now in still control of my health. So food is information, not just nutrition. So few points. So we'll talk about the connection between food and genes. So how certain type of foods um, grow or trigger our bad genes, whereas certain other types of food, how they trigger our good genes, and how that triggering of good genes and bad genes impact our body. Then of course food affects our emotions, as we all have different emotions with different kind of food that we are consuming. What is the traditional food that our ancestors have been eating, and why it still stands valid and still useful in current times also, because it is tried and tested for many many years. Then we'll briefly touch upon modern diet versus natural diet. Then mindful eating versus if you're not eating mindfully, watching mobile or computer or what, like these days we saw many parents are switching on the TV, cartoon or anything, and the kids are eating, so that's not good actually. So we'll talk about mindful eating. It leads to basically better information, and if you're not eating food mindfully, then what impacts it has. Then we'll also share, I'll share my own experience, as I just mentioned briefly, some of the practice tips which I have been following for the past 3 years. And of course before that, when I will also share the malpracticing practices that I was following and how it impacted me. And we'll have maybe a closing note on what you need to follow going forward, so that you can have a sustainable food habits and a regime. So let's start with food nutrition versus food information. So we all know that we are always looking at, whenever we are purchasing a ready-made food or ready package, which I don't have stopped using since last 3 years. In between, yes, it is, everything is packaged these days. So yes, I do indulge in couple of ready-made foods, packaged foods, but not often. I actually have gotten into a habit of eating fresh cooked or hot food, you can call it as. So that really satisfies my soul and my taste buds. It takes time, of course we are not used to the healthy way of eating, so it will take time. It has taken time for me also. So don't just think about food as calories. So when we, as I said, when we buy the packages from outside, which says so many calories, if you eat like 10 servings of it or whatever the grams of it, these are the calories. So it talks about mostly carbohydrates which our body needs to produce energy, right? For sure, of course you can take direct sugar which also produces energy, but it is excess. So carbohydrates, if they are burned, they get converted into energy, glucose. So carbohydrates, proteins, fats, trans fats, it talks about new vitamins, new minerals that the food has. Yes, these are the measures of the nutrients that your body needs, but that those are not just the nutrients which kind of absorbed by our body, but it gives us the information. What is information? It releases certain hormones in your body, which are like such as digestive juices, your dopamines, your melatonin, serotonin for sleep induction, your happy hormones, right, your sad hormones, or your cortisols, for example, adrenaline. So these are all nothing but information. So once, so these, so we'll talk about when we talk about genes and how it grows, bad genes and good genes. But just look at the food as not just the nutrients. Yes, you need to monitor it, but look at it from an information perspective. When you eat certain type of food, what it does to you. So we'll touch upon it at some other point in this podcast itself. So now let us understand the difference between the information and nutrients. So everybody needs calories. So on an average, woman may be consuming like 1800 to 2000 calories. Men must be consuming 2000 to 2400, 500 depending on the body calories. So don't just eat to fill your stomach, and don't, it gives us energy, but don't just eat for the sake of eating because the time is there, it's 12 o'clock, let's have lunch. It's 1 o'clock, let's have lunch. If it is 4 o'clock, let's have snack. Look at the body, what information it is giving you, what triggers it is giving you, and then eat. Because I was also into habit of, okay, it's 4 o'clock, like 4 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner. So I forced that on me, and then I used to feel lethargic and all that. So don't just fill your body because you need nutrients or you need calories. Basically food just don't give us energy, but it gives us satisfaction. So as I said, emotions are attached to it. Build muscles, it of course builds muscles, but what those muscles are for, it provides a structure to our body, it gives support to our bones, it gives us a typical shape. So that's why we say some people are fit, some people are obese, some people are low weight. So all these things are developed from the food. So but also remember that when you're eating food, it not just goes to your muscles and your energy and all that, but it also goes to your genes, right? It also affect your hormones, like I talked about, good hormones, bad hormones. It changes your mood. Of course it controls your inflammation, which is like something around your organs. Sometimes they're puffed up, which is nothing but inflammation. It causes heat. So it also controls inflammation, or it also causes inflammation depending on the type of food you're eating. And also the food that we're eating, such as say turmeric, mint, or other ginger, they are also kind of increases your immunity. Lemon, for example. Then we eat, generally we recommend citrus food when you're cold, but that sounds contradictory because they are sour but they are alkaline. So when they go inside your body, they help your body increase immune system. So these are very important things that many people out there in the world must have told you, but I am telling you it from my experience. I may not be an expert by education in this field, but I experienced everything on my own when I went through my health issues, and I made a checklist of my own, so which I'll also talk about when I talk about my personal experience. So what we can do is we can equate food is equal to information that our body needs. So for example, we feed data to computer and then it processes it, right, and then gives a certain information. Similarly, when we eat food, our body processes it and it gives us certain information. It makes us feel good, which is emotions. It increases our immunity. It helps us grow good genes if you are eating good sattvic, natural, clean food. If you are eating very oily and all, then it causes blood pressure, it causes clogging, it causes bloating, it causes gases. So also weight increases because of that, because if you're eating excess carbs, if they are not able to burn, then it gets converted into excess sugar in your body. So always make sure that like you need to upgrade your phone with the software, like your laptop with the software. Similarly, you need to upgrade your body with food, which is nothing but the information that our body is consuming in terms of the actual food items that we are eating. So now let's talk about the connection between the good and the bad gene. So how it impacts us and what it does to our body. So some food turn the good genes on. So I can mention some of them is like green smoothie, which helps us detox. That means it removes the toxins from your body. Turmeric, which reduces the inflammation in your body. So these are the things that are food that increases the good genes of it. So for example, fructose, which is coming from the fruits, the sugar, which is a good sugar because it is in the natural form. You are not consuming the actual white sugar that is generated or created from sugar cane. So what are some, so these are the natural, the more natural and clean that you eat, that means you are more closer to the nature, because we come from the nature and we end in the nature after our death, right? We are born from the nature, we are ending our life in the nature as well. So make sure that whatever you are eating is, you are trying to go as close to the nature as possible. I would not say vegetarian, non-vegetarian, it is individual choice. But if you're eating a non-vegetarian food, just monitor the seasons, and according to the season you should consume non-vegetarian food. But I personally prefer to be vegetarian. Occasionally I do eat, but I don't enjoy eating non-vegetarian per se, so I prefer to be a vegetarian. I do consume dairy products now and then. Ghee is especially integral part of me because I follow Ayurveda and naturopathy, and lubrication is required. So any tube which is our intestine, uh, food gets stuck to it, so you'll have to have lubrication so that it slides down the intestinal pipe. So I, that's why I consume oil, a little bit of oil, especially the cold press oil, not the refined oil, because all the nutrients are gone from the refined oil, and then the ghee, which is Indian butter. So some of the foods, they deactivate our bad genes. So what are some of these foods, which is a no brainer, which is junk food. It's typically characterized as junk food, but what is in junk food? So for example, if you too many of vada paos or the burgers, for example, they don't have a lot of close to the nature. They are processed food, Rajasic, Tamasic food. So we'll touch upon that also, which is traditional food versus modern foods and how Ayurveda defines it. So these are some of the foods which increase or grow our bad genes, so causing cholesterol, high cholesterol levels. This is a typical problem these days, because our lifestyle plus the food eating habits are such that we don't burn as much calories as we are supposed to. We are always having a sitting job. Even now I'm recording a podcast, I'm sitting, but I just had a walk, so I'm feeling good that at least I had a walk, and then I'm sitting and doing this, recording this podcast. So they increases the functional, like heart blockages, for example, is a typical example that we have seen. Then the excess sugary food, like sweets, late night sugars that you're eating, if you're under stress, of course stress has a lot of I would say impact on what we eat, so that is something we have to monitor. So make sure that there is a direct connection between the food you take versus the good genes and the bad genes that are grown in your body. So if you want always to increase the good genes, stay as close as possible to the nature food, which is like green leafy vegetables, preferably cooked or steamed, fruits, then lentils, dal, chawal, sabji, roti, preferably not gehu roti, but preferably millet roti, very light, as per the seasonal on your stomach. So that is about the good genes and the bad genes, how food impacts it. So now let's talk about how it affects our moods. So many women will relate to this, that when you are going through your menstrual cycle, a few days before the menstrual cycle, you just feel stressed because your hormones are, playing a big role in that, and you feel like eating chocolate or ice cream at the in the night before you go to sleep. And these are your hormones that are speaking, and then they, that is getting heavy on your brain, and you stop thinking and you crave for something. So make sure that you are able to sense those signals, that when your body or when your mind is telling you to eat something, really look at the time, really look at, are you really hungry, or you are eating just because you're stressed out. Once in a while it is okay, but don't make it a habit. So food that triggers whenever we eat food. So how does this process start of releasing emotions and hormones? So when just observe it for a day or two and see what happens. So when we are talking about food, so for example, tomorrow I'm taking my daughter out for a meal because she likes say maybe vada pav or whatever, right? Or I'm going out with my family, or if I'm cooking at home for myself, for my family, and say guests that are coming home. So when we start thinking about it, from that itself our brain starts functioning and processing that information. Oh, now this is I'm going to get tonight for dinner, or maybe tomorrow morning I'm going to get this for my lunch. So brain is already started to giving signals to all our body organs, which are there, which are included in the digestion of it, and the absorption and assimilation of the food. So that's how the emotion, the hormones are getting released from the brain. So you must have seen that certain types of food, which especially the chat food, if you think of it like maybe shikanji or something, or a mint, or say pani puri, your mouth starts watering. So how does it happen? You haven't even started eating. So why your mouth is watering? Because just with the thought, so the information and the actual food has a direct connection, as well as just the information or thinking about the food also has emotion. So you know how the connection between these two are. So especially it also impacts sleep. So if you eat too much of caffeine in the night or too much of sugar in the night, which is energy, do you need energy in the night? You don't. You want to just relax and sleep. You don't need energy to run, or to do your daily morning chores or afternoon chores. So make sure that you're eating light food which is lighter on your digestive system, as well as it induces sleep. So some of the sleep inducing foods that I have tried and they have worked fantastically for me is the poppy seeds, then it is nutmeg, and simple little bit of warm milk with Indian butter, which is ghee, turmeric, and some honey in it. It tastes fantastic and it induces sleep for you, and it is also light on your digestion because it also has the Indian ghee, which is butter in it, which helps light down the food easily on your body. And also these are some nutrients. If you talk about, they have definitely all the, but what it does as an information is what I told you. It induces the sleep. Anxiety. So when, especially if I have observed, and I'm sure you must have observed that whenever you are eating full meal, like we say that, oh, my meal is still here now, that means you have eaten too much, then your stomach could enlarge and store the food, or process the food when you're putting it inside, from your mouth all the way through esophagus. So make sure that when you're observe that when you're eating too much of food, you feel very full at the stomach and you just feel lethargic. So that is something, you know you have no energy left, because entire body's focus is on digesting. Focus 80% of our body's focus, blood circulation goes in the digestion. That's why your brain gets less supply, your other parts of the body becomes lethargic and you feel sleepy. Anxious is like when you're eating fried food. uh, if you have acidity, that means you have not slept well, you have not been eating well. The acid refluxes start, that means there is excess production of acid, and on top of it you're again putting a fried food. So that kind of churns in itself and mixes in itself, and then it starts coming out. Then you feel your heart start palpitating because there is something wrong with your body. So this is how it impacts our food. So always monitor when you're eating any food, because I know that these days we are used to saying, used to just eating the food and not thinking of it. So try talking to your food, because I know that I used to find it very funny. Who talks to the food? I mean, come on. I have never heard of it. But then I did a lot of search, I did experimentation, and when I'm thanking the food before I start eating it, and then when I start eating it, literally I had tears in my eyes when I was thanking the food, that I'm so privileged to eat what I like and what is good, what is sattvic. So always make sure that you are talking to your food. People may find it funny, but ignore. I mean, I have ignored them because people used to start laughing. Whatever you do, people are going to say something or the other. So just ignore and just thank your food. Eat your food mindfully. Focus on what you're eating. Whatever you're eating, half an hour easily. It should take ideally, if not at least 15 minutes. Don't rush and eat in 5 minutes. Not good, because before the food goes in your stomach, your brain gives a signal to body, and it says that now you're full. You've already eaten too much. So try to pace down, slow down on your eating, so that your brain has enough time and your stomach has enough time to send the signals back and forth on telling you whether it is enough or you need more. So this is one thing that I want to talk about, that it does impact our emotions. So make a diary of it. I did that, like what I eat, and what are my moods when I'm doing that. So I've always seen that, especially with young children, you must have observed that when you eat sugary food or when you feed them sugary, they're hyper. They're just running around in the house, they're laughing for no reason, they're throwing tantrums for no reason, because there is so much energy. How will they consume, how their body will consume that energy with these type of activities? Similarly, you must have seen then when people are having drinks, or they are having sugary sodas or anything, they are very hyper, they are talking very loud, because they are almost in a party place, right, when they are eating it. So make sure that you are not consuming these type of food, especially late in the night. And if you're consuming it for a day, for on a particular day, make sure the next 1 or 2 days you're taking it light. I'm not saying that completely stop it. If you like it, you can indulge in it and enjoy it, but make sure that the next 2 3 days you are taking a simple food, so that your body, which has gone through a strain of digesting this Rajasic or Tamasic food, and which is not very close to the nature, you give enough time to recovery. So, as I said, observe, make a list of certain foods that you eat, like especially the ones that you like the most. What are the emotions that they create? So, and also the foods when you felt sad, when you felt anxious, what have you eaten? Because that has 100% connection with your emotions. So, we talked about food is information, not nutrition. We talked about it is producing good genes and bad genes. We talked about connection of the food with emotions, what emotions you go through. Now we'll talk about traditional food and why that still stands valid and true in today's days as well. So yes, we can do experimentation. I have done a lot of experimentation with myself, so I'm not against it. But our mother, when we were born, she was using or are used to certain type of food. Our grandmother was used to certain type of food, or paternal, maternal. So our genes are also designed in such a, and it's not that you cannot manipulate genes, you can, but it needs a lot of efforts, it needs a lot of determination. You can improve your genes, or you can also go down if you don't follow a good diet or good regime, exercise regime, or daily routine. So whoever says that the genes cannot be altered, I don't think that's true. You can do it, but of course one has to be determined to achieve that. So I was not able to achieve it as much as I wanted, because you need a lot of discipline in your life. So as I said, just try and eat the food which has been tested for generations and generations and generations. You can do slight modifications in it and the taste will change a little bit, which is okay. So what I recommend is, like for example, if you are eating simple wheat roti, right, wheat bread, just try to add some resins to it, or something different if your ancestors have been eating it. Or if you are eating millet bhakri, which is typical Indian families in the central India eat, then try putting in some soybeans, which is protein, or some sesame seed powder in it, so which increases the nutrients of it. Similarly, if you are on the coastal side, you're eating rice, white rice, so try different versions of rice, and it will be good. It's the same ingredient but little bit of variation. Again, you are staying close to the nature and whatever your generations have been eating. So one thing that everybody is aware of it is that eat food as medicine, not medicine as food, because these days we are seeing that a lot of people, when they cross the age of 40 50 itself, they are starting low BP, high BP, diabetes, all that stuff. They have a lot of stress, they start taking sleeping pills. So don't take food, medicine as your food. Take food as your medicine. There is a lot of, see, every plant, every tree that is there in the nature has some medicinal properties. It's just that we are not aware. And Ayurveda was always looked upon in the past, but now I think people have realized the importance of that and the proactive um, treatment that Ayurveda gives. So and naturopathy gives. So try to eat natural as much as possible. So basically, eating food as medicine and not food as medicine. So always remember about this, that eating food as medicine and not food as medicine as food. So Ayurveda and naturopathy, so they insist on food as medicine, as I mentioned. Then I also attended a recent conference on medical yoga organized by Gnosis Medical Foundation and Natural Institute of Naturopathy, and they had a very good session on how you can eat clean and maintain your weight, maintain your health, and take control of your body, and which is nothing but very simple regime you have to follow. And they mentioned about Satvik, Rajasic, and Tamasic food. So Satvik food is something which is natural food, unprocessed food, maybe uncooked also sometimes. But these days we are not used to eating raw vegetables, which are not cooked, right? Raw fruits, anyway, fruits are to be eaten raw. Like bananas is a safe fruit that you can have anytime. For sugar monitoring people, apple is also okay if you have diabetes or something. So basically, the food which has this original taste and it has not changed with the spices that we have added, or maybe preferably uncooked food. But yes, soup and all that is also kind of a sattvic food. So Rajasic food is something which is cooked and that we all of us eat right now, which is like rice, lentils, rotis, breads, which is cooked, right? Those are the foods that are mostly Rajasic foods. So most of us are eating Rajasic foods. Tamasic is which is increases the heat in your body, right? So people who are kind of angry all the time, irritated all the time, 100% their diet is all gone for a toss and they have been eating tamasic food. So always make sure that you are not eating fried food always. There are particular seasons where you can eat the tamasic food. So for example, in dry seasons your body need lubrication, so in that case if you're increasing your oil intake, which is okay, you can eat little bit of oily food, but make sure you don't go excess on it. So everything excess is bad, so everything in moderate is always good. So don't eat fast food. I know these days we don't have time for cooking because we all are working, it's very hectic, but in India especially we are so privileged that we have help, right? The cook can come in the morning, can cook for us if you can afford one. If you cannot afford, just simple dal rice with some vegetable in one pot itself, you can put everything and cook it on a slow cooker or whatever, and you can eat it. So there are options available at home food also. So I would not recommend, and especially I don't like that you go out, give money, like some, I know that these days easily we are spending 1000 rupees to 5000 rupees on a meal when family is going out, right? So basically we are saying that okay, take this money and give us diseases, give us bad genes, because we are eating processed food, which is not Satvik or Rajasic food, it's mostly Tamasic food. Because imagine that these guys are there to have a business, they are not there to serve, do say NGO work or generous, right? Because they want to make money from running a restaurant. So do you think that they are able to give us good food with a low cost and good quality? I doubt, because I have my own business, and to run a business I know what it takes. It takes a lot of efforts, you have your cost, so you need to still make a profit, run your house. So they are not going to use healthy organic food for you, right? So the paneer especially that you eat, the paneer vegetables, especially the Punjabi vegetables which are there, they are all pre-cooked, they are frozen, they just take it from the freezer, warm it up, add a little bit of spices in it and serve to you, and you're like, wow, it's so tasty. It is not. It has no nutrition in the food, so it is just going to do harm to you. So these are some of the things that I am talking about, that why stick to the natural food what our ancestors have been using. There was no paneer. I don't think there was paneer back then, 100,000 2,000 years ago, right? So try to stay to the roots as much as possible. So I think Rujuta Divekar is one of the nutrition very famous in India, especially in Bollywood. She always said eat seasonal food. Yes, she's perfectly saying it, and she's absolutely correct about it. The region that you are in, your gut bacteria, your body is used to the environment around you. So currently, if I'm in Mumbai and I'm in Pune, these two also are different areas. Mumbai is close to coastal areas, Pune is not close to coastal areas but surrounded by hills. So my eating food or eating habits should be changed according to the region. So if I am say Indian but I'm living in America, right, my food is not going to be available there, but I have to give some time to my body to adjust to the new environment. Don't make sudden changes that when you travel or when you go out. So make sure, so we came from we talked from seasonal food to what you're eating when you go out, right? Out of your location, current location that you're living, or your born place. So for example, now that the summer is coming, it's a mango season, so make sure that the mangoes have been consumed at a moderate amount. Don't eat excess. Even if you eat excess, the next day make sure that you are taking it light. So these are some of the things that I wanted to highlight. One thing which I have observed and worked for me, my family, my son, my husband, is that a detox, which is fasting, right? You do intermittent fasting, some people cannot, but it just take practice. Okay, so if you're not able to do intermittent fasting for say 1 day, 2 day, 2 days, or for a week, don't give up. It just takes practice. For me also, I used to feel very hungry, I used to get irritated, oh my god, I need food. Because my body was never used to having fast, right? I never did fasting, I always ate like within 10 12 hours. I used to eat dinner, and again next day in the morning I used to eat something. But then I observe myself that since I started doing intermittent fasting, which is eating, not eating anything for say 14 15 16 hours, and then having 2 meals a day or sometimes one meal a day, I felt best in terms of clean body, light body, when I had one meal a day. I know that everybody is not good for everybody, because you cannot sustain that. So, but make sure that if you eat one a meal a day, your body is going to be extremely in good health. And I have done that. It is very difficult to sustain. I agree, especially if you have social gatherings, you have events, you have friends coming over. There's a festival, a lot of festivals in India. But whenever there are not, try to eat one meal a day. And if you are hungry, then eat a small fruit, or say maybe some small smoothie or some light snack in the evening, and that's it. And you will get amazing sleep. You will feel light. You just feel good. I mean, I felt that a lot. So I would highly recommend fast as much as possible, at least once a week, if not once a month, full 24 hours. Don't eat anything, because then body will not be busy in digestion, but it will use that energy to repair your cells. At the cell level, it will start repairing, right, first. And our body is designed so beautifully by nature god, that it first starts eating the toxins if you haven't eaten anything. That's why you must have seen that if you fast for a long time, your body starts going down. That means you become lean, right? Your excess fat starts getting burned. So wherever we are putting excess fat, especially in the, some of them are having excess fat in the arms, right here. Some of them are in the thighs, some of them are in the seat, some of them are here in the chest, some of them are here in the chin, right? So you'll see that once you start reducing your quantities, you will see the first areas that will start going lean is are these areas. And I have observed that with myself. So I have tried to do 48 hours fasting. 72 hours, which is complete 3 days, was a little bit difficult for me, but I want to get there. In fact, I want to try to get to 5 days once at least in my life, to see if I can go to 5 days with no eating, just water, maybe. I've gone to 2 days, but I would highly recommend to pick one day a week where you don't eat anything, just have water, or maybe some sharbat, which is little bit lemon in it, or chia seeds or whatever, and or maybe mint water, soft water, and just survive on that if you can. If you cannot, then just eat fruits, no juices, no ready-made juices. You can juice the fruit at home and eat it. Just eat fruits, or maybe just boiled vegetables, right? If you can make that, or a soup, so that you will feel light and your body will not need a lot of energy to digest. So detox once a month is important. So we talked about genes, good genes, bad genes, how it impacts. We talked about moods. We talked about our ancestral traditional food, and we are also talking about now how this Ayurveda and naturopathy impacts the uses good practices of food. So some of the spices that I have used regularly, which everybody is aware of, is turmeric. Definitely in Indian cooking it's heavily used, which is very good. Don't excess, because it is probably not good. Excess, anything excess, as I said, is not good. Ginger is definitely good. Lemon, coriander, mint. Then what else I have used, like black pepper, which is good for digestion. Actually, produces heat in your body, which is good for digestion. Then I have also used ghee, which is for lubrication, or coconut oil also, for some extent. Fruits definitely are good for positive. So basically, citrus food is what I'm saying, is helps in cold and cough when you have it. So again, recapping, nutrition versus information, good genes, bad genes. We talked about moods, how it different type of food changes our mood, good in a bad way. We talked about naturopathy, Ayurveda, and the food that our ancestors have been eating is still valid, right? Now we'll talk about modern diet versus natural diet. So modern diet is nothing but processed foods, because these days fast, fast, fast. We don't have patience because of mobile phone also. If the signal is not there, we just like kind of tuck tuck our phone or our laptop, because we are losing patience, because everything is 5G, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G is available now, and it's free Wi-Fi, free everything. Free in the sense, like in the same package you get calling and Wi-Fi. So we are so used to fast information. Now with AI coming in, everything is quick. So we don't have patience. So that's why we also want food to be fast. But any food which is cooked fast is not nutritious, period. And I have tried that. It is tested by me. I have had issues when we cooked it fast because the taste was gone, it was overburned, it half cooked here, half cooked there. So slow cook it. I know time is again a constraint, so put everything in one, and then slow cook it so that you get everything. You don't have to cook separately. Weekends, yes, you can try and cook separately, so you have time, you can cook with your team, your family, and involve them, right? uh, also when you're eating like pizza, burger, which is westernized food, it is also not good for western people also. I don't know why America and Europeans are eating less, but Americans are still eating it. I don't know why. Maybe the lobby of chain restaurant is so much that they are probably, hypnotizing people and forcing them to eat that. I have lived in US for a long long time, and I made a mistake. I ate that Taco Bell's, Burger King, whatnot, Thai food, Chinese food, Mexican food. But I now when I look back, I always felt very bad after eating it. I never felt like wow, never felt wow. Like the worst food that I had was Olive Garden. So heavy, so creamy, and it just not good. I don't know. It was favorite of my family. They have also now gotten sick of it. They don't like it anymore, which is I'm glad. Anyways, so processed food will give you confusion. It will make you lethargic. It will feel, it will attack your immunity because it is nutritionless. It's giving bad information to your body, right? And again, nutritions are also bad. But when you're eating natural food, it gives us healing information. Like I said, turmeric, ginger, right? It heals you. It balances your energy. Then it improves our immunity. When you're sick, you don't drink cold drink, right? Coca Cola or Pepsi or whatnot, but you drink herbal teas because it soothes your body. It gives you good information, right? That hey, this is coming in, I'm healing you. So make sure that you identify modern diet versus our natural diet, and you stay as close to possible as natural diet. So another thing which is very important is like these days with the mobile phones, reels, shorts, or whatever we call it as, then TV, laptop. We always, especially when you're alone, you're just putting on the TV. I also did that many times. Or you're putting your mobile phone or a laptop and then you're eating. So your mind is not in the food. Your mind is occupied by something you're watching, and especially if you're not watching something good, which is like good feel factor, then it is going to have impact on the food that you're eating, which is going inside of your body. So it's nothing but an information because you're not paying attention to what you're eating. So there could be a possibility that this nutrition or this information that is going inside your body, it's not getting digested well by your brain or by your cells, and all your digestive juices are not getting secreted as much as you want. So make sure that when you're eating, you're fully talking to your food, making connection with the food, saying thank you when you're eating because you're privileged to have sattvic food or the food that you like, right? The food that is good for you, because the food that you like may not be good for your body, but the food that you like and is good for your body. So these days, especially to the young moms, grandmas which are there who have younger grandchildren, or mothers who have say toddlers or preschoolers, or senior kg, junior kg, first grade students, please please please, just because your children are fuzzy, they don't eat, don't put on computer, don't switch on the mobile phone and have them eat. They are going to damage their brain, they are going to damage their eating habit, and then the saliva which gets generated while you're eating, right, while you're chewing basically, or when you see the food, or a water mouth waters, right, the water comes out, which is nothing but saliva. These guys will forget about saliva, their body will stop producing saliva. So if you really love your children, if you really care for their future, please don't put on switch on any mobile phone, or don't show them anything while they're eating, because whenever I'm traveling in India or even abroad in US, in less in Europe, but more in US, more in India, I have seen that the mother and the father is, they are talking, or they are also on their phone. The child is given an iPad or a phone, and there is a cartoon playing or some game is playing, and the mother is feeding, because mother is also busy, she's watching her mobile phone and feeding the child. Do you think that there is a connection that you are making with the food? You are not. The information that is going inside is not the food. The information going in your brain is this video game or this cartoon that is playing. so that children are not going to produce saliva over the period of time. And saliva, which is the water which gets generated in our mouth when we are chewing or when you are seeing the food, will go down, and then because most of the digestion happens here in our mouth when the saliva is mixed with the food when you are chewing, and then it goes down the esophagus and the stomach and all that. And that is where the churning, what you call the mixing, happens with the acid, and it's further broken down, and then it is passed down to the intestine and other large and small and large intestine. So make sure there is no TV on, there is no boil, and please, 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 it's a request, because I did that in COVID time because all of us were overworked. So I always just used to eat in front of my computer when I was having a meeting and anything, and I had no idea how much I had eaten. And after the meeting, I used to feel so lethargic, like I used to like, oh my god, kind of a feeling that, oh my god, I don't know what I ate, I'm still hungry, because I was not paying attention, right? And then I used to overeat, and because of that overeating, I started on putting on weight. My body started inflammation, inflating. So inflammation increase in my body. So this is not good. I have experienced it, so I would not recommend it to do to the small younger children, right? Because they'll be used to it then doing it, and they'll damage themselves. So eat, another thing is eat calmly, don't eat in a rush. Like if you are in a rush, don't eat, just have a fruit and that's it. Don't eat in a rush, because you're not doing justice, you're not digesting that information well, because you're in a hurry. There is always like a hanging sword in your on your neck. So just don't eat, just eat a fruit, and then maybe some snacks, dry fruits, just chew them, and that's it. Skip that meal otherwise if you can, uh, because it's not going to give you good signal. The healing will be problem. The information that you're feeding to your body is like ta 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 ta, eat this and go. So it's not good. The saliva will not be mixed properly. So eat calmly if you can, otherwise avoid eating at that time if you are in a rush. Another thing that we have seen common, I did that when I was young, that whenever my mother father used to scold me for something or the other reason, I would say, they'll say, okay, come for dinner, come for lunch, I used to say, I'm not hungry. Don't do that. Don't disrespect the food. If you're not really hungry, that's fine. If you're not hungry, don't eat. But just because you're angry, and you don't insult the food, right? Your mother father have put in a lot of efforts in cooking that meal for you, so don't disrespect. And if you are also a wife or a husband, and if you are mad on your spouse or if your children, don't put the anger on the food. Respect the food, right? Because there are many people who don't get food in the world. They are malnutrition, right? They don't they don't have good physique, they don't have good health. So because it will lead to poor digestion. If you're angry, the angry sorry if you're angry hormones are released in your body, and they're not going to help release the good digestive juices for digestion purposes. So calm down, count 1 to 10, just go for a small, maybe 1 or 2 minutes walk in the nature, calm down your mind, and then start eating. It's okay to delay it by 5-10 minutes until your anger calms down. So these are the some of the important points that I want to bring in. So basically, what I have done is, from my experience, like the points that we covered about genes and emotions and ancestral food, Ayurvedic versus naturopathy, I mean Ayurvedic naturopathy versus modern food, natural food, then mindful eating, which is good information processing, not mindful eating, bad information processing, and digestive issues. So I have observed all of them from my past experiences over the period, that when I was working, not giving respect to the food that I was eating, and how it impacted me over the period. And when I started, like when I put my foot down, saying that no, that's it, I need to be mindful, I need to respect the food, I need to process the information that is coming in form of food for my body, and I started seeing healing in my body. And I was in a terrible condition in 2023. I'll talk about my experience now. uh, COVID, as you know that, right? Maybe almost 1920 and 2021, everybody was going through stress because they had so much work. Companies were hiring a lot of people because remote working was very difficult for people, especially it was impacted with the desk job, right? There were a lot of desk job created. Of course, for daily wages, that was a different case. They did not have work at all for some people. But for talking about the general public, who is like sitting jobs right at their desk, had a lot of work, so they did not have time, long working hours, working with especially in IT software, because that's where I belong from. Most of my early career had long working hours, teams in different geographies, so they had to work like say until 1 o'clock in the night, again start their day at say 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. There was hardly any sleep throughout the day, they were working. And during that period, I was so overworked that I had no time to think, and no time to think about what I'm eating. Whatever was, either my husband would cook in between when he has time. When I had time, I would cook. We ate that, as well as we fed the same to our children. So then in 2022 and 23, we observed that we have been just puffing up. We're just putting on weight because the mobility was less. It was not allowed to go out in India or in US or in other countries also, where hardly people used to go out, right? They were, everybody was confined to their home or garden, if they have a home garden or anything. So not much movement, not much activities, plus the stress of work, plus the everybody was at home. We were not used to having everybody at home 24 by 7. So the fightings, the arguments, psychological problems, so everything together, and bad food habits, not eating mindfully, not processing that food information, kind of worked in reverse. It grown the bad genes in me, and then I was puffed up. It wasn't my weight that increased, but I could see the swelling. I could not fit into my old clothes, and it wasn't the weight gain, it was the inflammation. I could see the swelling on my eyes, my face, here, everywhere, double chin, here, then puffing up. My stomach was always bloated. And in 2023, I had to rush to the emergency. A lot of issues happened with me. I started reducing it. I could not digest any food. Whatever I used to eat, immediately in 10 minutes it used to go out from my stool. So it happened almost for 6 7 months. I was not able to sleep because of that, and in that process I could not eat anything. And then I started only eating moong lentil, spinach, carrot, banana, apple, and rice. A very simple food, no oil, not much oil, maybe just a little bit of ghee, then just black pepper, a little bit salt, then cumin powder, cinnamon powder, a little bit here and there. And when I started eating simple food, I started seeing the difference in me. I was able to get sleep. I reduced weight, so which is excess fat was gone from my body. My body started becoming clean. So that was a way of my body telling me that you have gathered and accumulated enough of toxins from the past 3 years of your daily schedule, and you have never taken care of yourself. So now I need time to cure myself. That's what my body was telling me, but I was ignoring it. But during that process, I realized that I feel very light. I felt very, I would say, clean from inside. Of course, that process was very hard. 7 8 months, lack of sleep and all that was very hard on me. I was very very skinny. I could not digest anything. My bone muscle mass was gone. But then during that period, thanks to that actually period of 2023, I started eating clean. And the moment I started seeing all the toxins were gone, my body was cleansing it up, the hormones were getting reset. The hormone reset happened with the Ayurveda and naturopathy treatment that I was taking, and I started seeing slow growth in my weight gain, in my food habits. And I realized that how much it matters on what you eat, what information you are feeding to your body. So, and this is the version of me, so I'll also show how I was when I was puffed up because of the long working hours in COVID, and how I lost my weight by throwing toxins from the body, how much time it took my body to throw the toxins out, and then how I started my recovery journey, and where I am today, 2 years from 23. And this journey has not been very easy. It was very difficult. I learned it in a hard way, that but it was a necessary, because don't take your body for granted, don't take your mind for granted. Always talk to yourself, always talk to your body, saying that are you okay. Always talk to your mind, hey, am I eating this correctly, am I processing the information correctly, am I focusing on eating when I'm eating. So do one thing at a time, just eat, just focus on eating, don't work and eat, don't show mobile phone to your children, just do one thing at a time mindfully. So this is what my experience has been, and I wanted to really share it with all of you, so that what I have suffered, that if at least one or two people, I of course hoping for more, can benefit from my information, my podcast. The actual experience that I have gone through will be very, very useful. Food is definitely a major part of my recovery, and also going down in the health as well as coming back on good health. Is food is a very, very important piece of it, and that's why I took this topic. Is very dear to me even nowadays also, when I'm going out with my friends or with my company people, uh, for a meeting or anything. They eat dinner at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I don't, because I always finish my dinner. The meetings are generally from say 7 to 9 or 6:30 to say 8:30. I'm always done with my dinner. So whenever I'm going to we are meeting, then everybody says, oh, you must have had your dinner already. I was like, yeah. Are you going to have something? I said, no, I'm done. I already had my dinner, and I don't want to eat so late, because then I won't be able to sleep. So we will get into the habit of it. Initially it was very difficult. People did name calling to me. They said, what is this, you are taking your food everywhere, as if we are not going to feed you. Why do you also have to take your water? People will say things to you. You just have to listen. Not listen, just go from here and remove it from here. Because at the end of the day, when I was in pain, when I had health issues, nobody came to take my pain. Nobody could share my the health issues that I was going through. You are the only one who has to go through it, who has to suffer, who has to go through the pain, go through those 100,000 tests that doctors are doing, the discussions that you're having with psychologists, psychiatrists, what not, go from this doctor to that doctor until you feel better. So if you don't want to get into that issue of having major health issues is because of bad genes and bad food choices, you have to be disciplined, you have to be determined, and you have to put your foot down and take charge of your life. Don't let other people, because I know that in India, whenever you go to someone house visiting them, they'll offer something to eat. And when I started saying no, oh my god, people like, you're doing too much. If you are going to eat this small portion, is nothing is going to happen to you. uh, Too much stubborn, I just ignored it. I did not bother, because I know what I went through, and I didn't want to give another bad experience to my body. My body, I'm very thankful to it, because it took a toll on me, but it did revamp and came back and rejuvenated myself. So I have utmost and utter respect for my body and my strong mind, and I continue to keep that even now after 2 years. And I know that if I am able to sustain it for 2 years, 100% I'm going to sustain it all my life. And there is no, I totally respect my mind body for this, and I'm not going to abuse it. Thank you so much, and I'll take good care of, because this is my temple. This is my machine that I have to make sure that I lubricate. I take care of my machine. Regular maintenance is there and all that, and it lasts good for this life. And I'm thanking nature god for giving me such a good body and mind, that I'm able to change it and make better choices in my life. So some of the practices that I would like to share with you guys that I followed is, for me, because it just hit me bad. I had to rush to the hospital because of the severe diarrhea. Not everybody will have same issue, but take small steps, because don't give shocks to your body. If you're not used to eating simple food, or you're not used to a particular regime on a daily basis, just start taking small changes. If you're not able to, or if you're not ever done detoxification of your body, just do it once a month. Just start with, say, maybe Sunday I'll just take castor oil with a warm water, 2 spoon of castor oil with a warm water, and I'll clean my body, and today I will not eat anything. If you don't want to do Sunday because there's party time and all that, don't do it on Sunday, do it on Monday. So after you have eaten bad food, at least on Monday you're cleansing it. But maybe work from home on that day, if you can work from home. If not, then of course you have to take on Friday night. Saturday morning will be done. But on Saturday, eat clean food, maybe soup, khichdi, which is moong khichdi, or maybe just dal rice, or simple sorted spinach, very less oil, and carrots and all that. Piece little bit of sorted steam vegetable, preferably soup, preferably, And then Sunday you can have a light meal, say bhakri or maybe just dal rice, little bit of vegetable. And then Monday onwards you can go back to your regular eating that you have been eating, but again Rajasic or Satvik food. So take small steps, as I said. Don't make sudden changes in your diet. If you're eating 4 meals a day, try eating 3 meals a day. So distribute that into 3 meals a day. If you're eating, say, 2 meals a day, and if you want to get to 1 meal a day, you can get to 1 meal a day. I have done 1 meal a day, and it is sustainable. Of course, you will crave something at like say 4:30, but that craving you have to manage with maybe. If you're like totally just cannot, it happened to me also, just cannot do it, just eat a fruit, and that should be good enough, but not like 7 o'clock in the night. Try to do it at 4:30 or 5 max, and then don't eat anything. If still that is not good, then have little bit of milk, very small. Don't take the whole big cup of milk or a full glass of big milk. Just take a small, maybe say 7 8 sips, that much of milk with a little bit of ghee, turmeric, and honey if possible, depending on the season, and that should be good. So 1 meal a day is good enough if you can survive on that. So I would say edit your diet. So if you are used to eating, like just take ready made, hit it in the microwave and eat. Don't stop immediately. Maybe do it for 5 days instead of 7 days. Do it for 5 days. Saturday, Sunday, cook your own meal. I would not recommend pre-cooking meal, because I know there are a lot of videos of pre-cooking, pre-cut meal and all that. I've tried that. I just didn't feel the food tasted good after I've cut it, or after I've cooked it, kept in the refrigerator again, then warm it up on the gas stove or in the microwave. I did not like the taste. It's up to you, but I think the nutrition will be lost. So if you are again want bad genes, you will not. Then you will eat that food. If you want good genes and good mood, then cook fresh food. Even if it is small meal, that's fine. So 5 days a week you can eat whatever you're eating. 2 days make fresh, then make it 3 days after say a month, make it 4 days after say 2 months, then in 6 months edit your diet completely, so which suits you. With that also make a checklist, keep a checklist of what is good for you, what works best, when you feel more energetic, when you don't feel more energetic. So that way it will be easier for you to make choices. um, Another thing is be consistent with your timings, right? I know people say that you should eat whenever you're hungry, whenever you're not. Yes, that is correct, but generally follow the sun. So what I do is, as per the naturopathy and Ayurveda, which is work fantastically for me and everybody that I have given advice on and counseling on, that follow the sun. So whenever is sun at the peak, that means your digestive juices are also at the peak. That means your body is able to digest the food very well during that period of time, which is from say 12 to 11:30 to say, yeah, or maybe in summer it's 11 to 1 o'clock. So finish your meal during that period, and then don't eat anything after that, right? Again in the evening, before the sunset, try to eat as much as possible, if not at least by 7, because it's similar to like you have turned on the gas. If the gas is turned low, then it is going to take longer to cook. That means similarly longer to digest. The more the food stays outside and it is not digested, the more sour or spoiled the food is going to be. Simple. And that's why you must have heard of terminologies called ama and all that. That means your food is undigested, ardha pacha anna. So if your food is not digested properly, if you have overeaten, it is a stress to your body, right? It's a machine. If the machine capacity is this much, and if you are increasing it, then it is going to burst, it is going to have some issues, right? It is going to clog or whatnot. Same. So whatever is the machine that you see outside as a pipe machine, same thing is inside our body. So if you can relate to it, it's very common sense. There's nothing rocket science in it. But it comes with the practice, it comes with a lot of determination and a lot of discipline. It's very important. And don't get budged by people, as I said. So another thing which I have observed is that if you eat at least one fruit a day, you just feel good. I mean, I feel very good, I feel excellent. Any seasonal fruit you can eat. Apple generally is available all year round. In fact, it is not a all year round fruit, but it is safe. Also apple sauce, which is a cooked apple, is also very good. It is very light, it is fibrous, and don't add any sugar or jaggery to it, and eat that, which is pretty good. So that is something. So generally what I would recommend is make a round, follow the sun clock. Whenever the sun is at its peak, have the biggest meal of your day, because then that will be digested very well during that period. try to finish dinner by 7 at least, if not by 8. And if you're coming home late, then I would ideally recommend you to avoid it. It's not going to be difficult. I know initially it will be difficult, that you will not be able to avoid because you're used to eating at 10, 11 o'clock. But then pack something which you can eat at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, or maybe 7 o'clock max. And then when you're coming home, don't have anything. Maybe have a small milk if you can digest milk. If not, then just have a small herbal tea with lemon, honey, kind of ginger kind of a thing, which is good. You will get used to it. You have to practice. Initially you'll have cravings, you'll feel like eating, maybe listen to a song, read a book, go out for a walk when you feel like, craving for something to eat. I did that a lot. Of course, I had a lot of cravings in between. I break my schedule, but then again, the determination was there. So, and I came from like very bad health to a good health. So I didn't want to have that bad experience again. I said nothing doing. I'm never going to go back there. I made mistakes also in last 2 years, but then I again immediately recovered from it because I did fasting, or I did light meal the day after, right? Immediately the next day when I had heavy food or something. So I said fruit, eat as per the sun, follow the sun. Detox your body once a week or once a month if possible. Eat as close as possible to the nature, which is clean food, Rajasic or Satvik food if you can. Tamasic once in a while is okay, but if you eat that, the next day fast. That is something. Don't drink water directly from the refrigerator because it is very cold. If you have noticed, whenever you measure your body temperature, if you are not fever, don't have a fever or anything, it is always 98 or 96 kind of a temperature, which is kind of a hot temperature, right? It's not very cold like 60 degrees Fahrenheit or anything. So if you're putting a cold water in your body, it's like you have a fire and you're putting a cold water in it. Its fire is going to go, right? It's going to be gone. There is no acid in your body. So it's nothing but fire is equal to acid in your body. If you're putting cold water in it, it's going to get diluted. The moment the acid gets diluted, do you think it's going to break down your food and cook your food in your stomach? It is not. So it is as simple as that. So make sure that you're not putting cold water in your body. Of course, first thing, when you get up in the morning, don't put cold water because your body was resting. Your body's temperature is generally hot in the night and in the morning, so don't put cold water inside it. Just little bit of warm water, not very hot water, because it will again burn, especially in summer season now that is coming. But very very light warm water. Maybe if you want to put some herbal tea you can take, but not very hot. Then little bit of lemon if you want. It's up to you. Soft water or whatever. I just sometimes drink plain water if I don't have pre-cooked soft water or anything pre-made. Then I just drink warm water. Sometimes copper water, room temperature is also okay. uh, there is no such measurement as drink one full glass or one full bottle or anything. If you are thirsty, drink as much as possible. Don't over, because I also tried doing that. I followed, people were saying, oh, drink 1 liter of water. So I used to literally like push myself, pour water in my hand, like my stomach, I could feel that it was getting up and up. So and then I said no, that's not good for me, because my body used to feel uneasy, right? Then I said no, I'm just going to follow what suits my body. Then I only started drinking water when I felt like, when I really am thirsty. Sometimes I used to feel very dry here, and I know that yeah, it's time for me to drink water. Sip by sip, 1 glass of water, it's all up to you. So it's all experimentation. So I did a lot of experimentation on sip by sip, but sip by sip didn't work for me. I just could not satisfy my thirst with sip by sip. So I always had like a cup of water or a big glass of water, depending on whenever I was thirsty. And now I've gotten into a habit of drinking, say, at least 1 to 2 liters water of day, depending on the season. In winter, I drink maybe 1.5 liter max. In monsoon, also another 1.5 liter. It's good. It's good for me because I'm also drinking soup. I'm drinking dal, milk. So overall, the water is going in, fluid is going in my body. In summer, sometimes yes, 2 liters, 2.5 liters. I have not measured it, but as long as my thirst is satisfied, I'm good. Okay. So drink water mindfully. Don't just fill it. I know that people are saying that it removes the, pushes the toxins from your body. If you're not able to pass the stool, then you can eat a little bit of excess water so that it will push the stuck stool in your intestine further down, so that it is released, from your potty. So make sure that for that you can have, but just be mindful of it. Don't just pour, because then you're putting your stomach is getting stretched, right, with a lot of water. uh, then first, yes, this is very common for people, that I cannot pass the stool unless I have tea or coffee. That means you're 100% you're constipated. And that is happening in my family also. Like many of my uh, dad's side, my mom dad's side, my husband's side, are saying that, oh, I have to have a coffee and tea, then only I pass. That means your body is not well, it needs help, it's crying for help. So I would not recommend to have the first drink as your tea or coffee, but it should be like a water. So make sure that you are getting tested with a naturopathy doctor or Ayurvedic or even an allopathy. Don't take medicine for it. There's nothing wrong, seriously wrong, to take allopathic medicine. But this can be easily cured. If you are constipated, the constipation can be taken care. Soak maybe raisins overnight, dry fig or dry apricot, and then it puffs up in the morning. So drink that water and eat it. It is fibrous, so it will help you stay calm, cool from inside, and also fibrous, so it will help you over the period pass the stool easily. Or have trifala churna, have avipattikar in the morning with a little bit of warm water, 1 spoon, and it will help you pass the stool. But don't drink tea and coffee. It will do harm over the period to you. If there are people, old people sometimes say that, oh, we have been drinking tea and coffee, nothing happened to us. Are your knees perfect? Are your vertebrae perfect? Do you have no pain? There is no one that I have seen that they have had tea and coffee in the morning as soon as they got up and they have zero diseases or they have zero pain in your body. I have not come across. If you have, please tell me, and then we'll do a search on that. We'll do research on that. I have not come across. And reduce pre-cooked packaged food that I talked about. Avoid fast food. So if you're going and eating out every day, you're calling for a problem. Maybe if you're young right now, you will not feel, because I also did not feel any issue when I was young. As soon as I started crossing 40, 45, then the issue started popping up, and for sure it is going to pop up. Any bad habit is going to lead to some problems in your life. So just, it's given. Okay, there is no excuse. Nobody is born with, like, say, amrut, and then going to survive with everything bad they are doing and they are still fine. I have not seen anyone. Okay. Eat organic food, invest in organic food, in fact buy organic food, spend money there rather than going to a movie. I'm not saying don't go to a movie, but rather than eating outside food in the restaurant, paying an enormous amount of money to restaurant bought food, give money to the organic food. So you don't have to spend to the doctor, because I spend a lot of money on doctor when I eat inorganic food, and it is my experience I'm talking, and it's not pretty. Use turmeric, jeera, mint, lemon, ginger on a daily basis. It really helps. It really helps in digestion, in overall health, skin of your body. And again, as I said, take small step, and observe. Make a checklist. Observe the effects it has on your body. So at the end, I want to share a few things with you, that every meal sends a message to your body. So choose wisely, because there are n number of food options available to you, right? But choose food wisely, depending on your body structure, depending on your food, the food chain which is around you, depending on the location you are living in, your lifestyle, the work that you do. Are you doing more physical work, versus are you doing a desk job, sitting job? Do you have a lot of cardio happening during the day, up and down, up and down? So don't harm your body by eating bad food. Okay, the body, respect what nature has given you, right? Respect the machine that you are, right? Take care of your machine, charge it in between, maintain it, detox it, clean it, basically clean your machine in between, not just body but of course mind. So that's why I say the healthy mind in a healthy body. So the body is healthy, of course the mind is going to be healthy, right? So make sure that every meal is sending message to you, and you're making a wise and good choices for your food. So I hope this information has helped you, and whatever I have covered in this podcast is what I have all experienced all my life, and I have gone from mm, good to bad to worst, and from worst I have come to you know uh, better, and now I am getting towards best. Of course I still have all my life, all of us are going to be improving all the time. I want to get on the best path and continue until the end of my life on this earth. So thank you for listening to me, I really appreciate. If you have any questions, please feel to put it on the comment, and spread this podcast, share it with as many people as possible. If they have any questions, I'm happy to help. Just put comments on there and I'll get in touch with you. And I hope that we are making good choices and staying as close to nature as possible and helping grow good genes. Thank you. Namaskar.